this supporting. How was Theresa May's brief answer while she was requested in the building of House of Commons on Monday, which was in the 5% of left issues, permanent in the way of a transactions on the UK's departure of the Europe Association. At question, which precisely the supporting should tell, and which legislative guarantees can be taken into account to strengthen it. Since for both of sides it has been question of the main independence of their association. How lyrics mainly told how, if no some solutions were found, Northern Ireland would include to remain in the EU Customs Officer Association and largest components of the solitary marketplace, except and before a length-term trading transactions founded house toward the boundary, as outdoor as it is currently. The next 7 months include been substantially dedicated to the searching for a trade-off. It appears how the UK by the government is produced to take supporting proposals how would indicate consumer goods that go among large Britain and Northern Ireland would be object to several regulating checks, particularly on meal and animals. But down there would be no checks on consumer goods driving in the some line, of Northern Ireland to large Britain, to provide how Northern Ireland business community hold unhindered accessing to the entire of the UK. Customs officer, although, has proven to be a more than hard question to solve. The UK's privileged supporting decision was a interim customs officer location how would tie the entire of the joint realm, no fair Northern Ireland, to EU customs officer rules for a bounded time, if a next trading transactions how avoiding a difficult boundary was not prepared in period. But the EU was unwilling to address issues related to the next relation up Brexit had in fact happened, and it reasoned how down there was inadequate period leftward, up March 29, 2019 to accept the detailed information of such a customs officer location in any case. The UK, as Theresa May underlined in the building of House of Commons on Monday, now wants a juridically mandatory obligation in the departure treaty how a interim customs officer location will be agreed for the offered 21 monthly transfer time following Brexit. Or, if how proves problematical, later the transfer, this by the government telephone call it and realization time, could be stretched if required. He's not completely precise how you do such a obligation to conduct negotiations a customs officer location juridically mandatory, since you can't warranty in preliminary the accurate result of individual contract talks. However, the EU has been readily to talk the suggestion. And hard to discover tongue how satisfies both of sides is a attention of engineering discussions how are yet departure on over the scenes. The anxiety is how the EU has a issue in the UK stance, as well set out by the main secretary in Parliament, how any such a location cannot rescind indefinitely. So EU negotiators go on to urge how no question which tongue is coordinated on a interim customs officer location, its unique supporting suggestion, for Northern Ireland must stay in the departure treaty as a juridically mandatory warranty of recent refuge. Affirmative. The UK says the EU's proposals would build inappropriate impeding among Northern Ireland and large Britain, and erode the independence of the joint realm. And the government insists how any supporting suggestion must include several feeling of definitiveness, each via a period limit or a arrangement how enables the UK to keep. Once again, which how arrangement might say is the attention of intensive discussion over the scenes. As for the EU, it says it cannot enable any sway chamber that could conduct to various rules and regulation operational in the next on contrary sides of an outdoor Irish boundary. How, it argues, would erode the independence of its economical region, the solitary marketplace. Both of sides are hard to fiction the tongue in procedure to try to get an treaty, but both of as well include channel they will not crucifix. As things stay, the EU can't see a way to escape possessing its release of the supporting, an all-weather release, as it telephone call it, fixed in the departure treaty in several shape. All the very matters since both of sides say they are completely established to defend the Nice Friday Treaty that put at the cardiac of the Northern Ireland world trial. The growth of the all-Ireland economics, in an outdoor and nearly unseen boundary, is an essential portion of how trial. Affirmative, in just 5 months to go before the UK is due to keep, the mandrel question that is necessary to be solved. It may appear nearly unexplained how the whole Brexit trial appears to hover on a engineering controversy on the Irish boundary. But both of sides are treat Ireland as a specific instance. Anywhere else about Europe is the foreign boundary of the EU solitary marketplace, as outdoor as they wish the Irish boundary to be following Brexit. The EU argues how, though in the length period, the just way to warranty an outdoor boundary is to hold each Northern Ireland or the entire of the UK connected to the Customs Officer Association, and next lot of the rules of the solitary marketplace. A pure break Brexit, and a Canada-style complementary trading treaty preferred by lot Tory backbenchers, would not reach how. So down there is a basic distinction of view that conducted us behind to wherever we begun, this supporting